we are discussing that multiple integrated theaters are now happening. Across the world, we are seeing asymmetric advantages being taken. Like in Russia war, they pulled away all the payment gateways, internet systems, everything. In Israel, they are using pager attacks. They are saying all phones, everything have access to Israel.
In the domain of cyber and space, and also electronic warfare are limitless actually. This is the domain where borders don't exist. There are no well-drafted rules of engagement. We have realized that. And we had realized actually some time back, so about 4 or 5 years back, we had set up cyber agency, defense space agency. Now time is come to expand further these capabilities.
So I made a summary of some of the discussion points, and we are discussing that multiple integrated theaters are now happening. Across the world, we are seeing asymmetric advantages being taken. Like in Russia war, they pulled away all the payment gateways, internet systems, everything. In Israel, they are using pager attacks. They are saying all phones, everything have access to Israel. Now, US has launched Genesis mission, which is now further pushing it into sci-fi territory, which is they are integrating space, AI, hardware, software, energy, fusion, nuclear, bio, everything. So, is this moving into sci-fi world faster at a higher rate, or is this something still that is more propaganda?
Interesting. Marshal, would you like to take that?
Okay, so the possibilities in the domain of cyber and space, and also electronic warfare are limitless actually, because this is the domain where borders don't exist. There are no well-drafted rules of engagement, and it is only your ingenuity which will work. So certainly we have realized that. And we had realized actually some time back, so about 4 or 5 years back, we had set up cyber agency, defense space agency. And now time is come to expand further these capabilities. And other thing is, these things cannot happen by only one department. So for this whole of nation approach has to happen. And that also government has considered, and that also is happening, but I am not at liberty to speak too much about that. But yes, this has been realized, and because of this is another reason we keep saying that yes, we have to become integrated. So integration is at, one is that Army, Navy, Air Force and these domains, and the second level of integration which will happen is at national level. So that is what whatever you're saying, we should be able to achieve in next, I think 5-6 years. We should be able to do that.
Yeah, it's a related question, but I asked you this, Mr. Ramchandani, is the same thing that this changing warfare dynamics that was asked about, it's multi-pronged. Do we have the workforce to understand the threat levels, the threat perception, and how to combat it? Do we have the workforce, trained workforce, skilled workforce?
So skilling is a common challenge, and we need to keep upskilling the workforce. But I think beyond workforce, when we are looking at the evolution of war and the induction of technology into warfare, I think what is required is the ability to innovate and research into the application of technology into warfare. And one of the good things that the government has done is to announce this deep tech fund of 1 lakh crore, where they are saying that, look, we are going to set up a funding mechanism of AIFs which will fund deep tech in industry, for example. So let's say we want to invest into application of quantum communication or something like that, and as a private industry we don't have the wherewithal to make that kind of investment, or we don't see returns quick enough, or there are risks with that investment because the technology is nascent, then creating a funding mechanism to support this kind of R&D, I think, is very important. We have, of course, the IDEX programs and all that, which again, encourage innovators to bring in tech into warfare and to create asymmetry from innovation. And I think that's an ecosystem that we have to encourage. And, a lot can be done in that area if we can crowdsource the innovation of the average Indian and make them look at deep tech in a bigger way, then I think we've won the battle. And that's
a very interesting concept. I think we need a session on just that, on crowdsourcing. Defense Secretary, are we looking at that too?
I think the IDEX program actually does just that. And many of these services also have followed that hackathon type of model where they float a problem statement from the services and then try to get people to solve those problems, build prototypes, and then fund some of it. What we could do in the future in terms of encouraging that ecosystem further is to give them a further assurance in terms of orders. Right now, the sort of funding kind of stops at the prototype level, and thereafter they're on their own. And obviously some don't survive given the lack of funding and orders, because many of them are either bootstrapped or they've not been able to get enough funding. So those are the things that we've taken care of to some extent in the revised defense procurement manual. For revenue procurement, we've actually put in a clause which says that if you've developed, say, a particular type of munition specifically for a service, then you have an assured period of about 5 years during which you will get those orders. Something similar we will do in the DAP process, because at the end of the day, funding the prototype is not enough. You will have to combine that with an assured procurement program to enable him to do a spiral development kind of a thing, so that he's able to sustain his model or his business model thereafter. That is the way we will take this forward.